think it's up? Can it? Shout out to everybody that doubted. Want me to lose, but I wouldn't allow it. Got to the venue and it's looking crowded. Homie just texted me and said he's the proudest. It's now or never, you can't get an hour. Leave me a rap, you get devoured. Fuck what he heard, you know nothing about power. You can't look me in the eyes, you a coward. I wish you saw me when I was my lowest. Ready for action, or was the coldest. I want a million, I had to get focused. It took some time, but I put it in motion. I needed help and your line wasn't open. I had to learn from myself, I had omens. You see the passion and all the devotion. I'm international just like the postage. Liquor been treating my liver corrosive. Cracking the back with that I get the rolling. Pull up another, my nigga, I'm smoking. Back in the day we would call this shit open. Fucking showers, your heart ever broken. You see her crying in tears that you soaked in. I be her peace, need I be profit. Mark of the beast on the KO, I'm chosen. I hit the booth with another one. You not the one, you a runner up. What you gon' do if they running up? My niggas beast, we run amok. We finna ride, buckle up. We finna fight, knuckle up. He tried to act like he dumb, you ain't sunning us. I get the back and then trap till the sun was up. You ain't not fucking with me, that's hysterical. I bought the shovel, that's for the burial. Please do not rap around me, I'll embarrass you. Still be the best if I posted in Syracuse. There's not a rapper that you can compare me to. I such a chain and them niggas will stare at you. I got a stick like I'm hunting for caribou. This shit'll ring like it's about to go marry you. Down with the work, mama's a fiend. I wrote a verse, follow my dreams. I don't do perks, fuck all the lean. You niggas ops, not on my team. What do I like? Commas and green. I got a hit, bobbing and weave. Ready for what? Solid regime. I love my girl, I got a queen. I let my thoughts just go on a track. You not his boy, you holding them back. Alpha, controlling the pack. 100 below, coldest in rap. Said I'm a cash, I know I'm a snack. PTSD, don't get attached. You isn't hard, both of them rest. Even 6ix9ine can go get a plaque. I hit the booth with another one. You not the one, you a runner up. What you gon' do when they run it up? My niggas beast, we run amok. We finna ride, buckle up. We finna fight, knuckle up. He tried to act like he dumb, he ain't sunning us. I got the back and then trap till the sun was up. I can go back to the days I was young, I was dumb, but I still wasn't acting my age. Day I got clapped as the days and my grandfather knew he would probably roll back in his grave. I don't really have to complain, my life been hard, I'm good, but I rap to explain. Still matching the pain, might have to pass on the fame. Shit get to eating you from up inside of you. This ain't for everyone, I wouldn't lie to you. I cannot count on you, why would I hire you? We can't do business if you unreliable. Half of the city just told me they proud of me. Don't have to lie to me, know I inspire you. I'm being real without even trying to. Get to this level, this shit undeniable.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Cypher. Episode number 41. We've been doing this for 41 weeks now, so you should be familiar with who we are and what we do. But if you're not, that probably means you're a first-time viewer or listener, and we appreciate that support, so shout out to you. My name's Andrew Kazir. I'm the owner and editor of Upstate Aesthetic, a website dedicated to promoting local hip-hop artists in upstate New York. Every week, I'm joined by two of Upstate's most talented artists, Anthony Cannon and Sheridan Crane. What's poppin', you guys?
It's cracking lacking, bro. How you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Sheridan, how are you?
Doing pretty well. It's been a long week. I got a session with D Brown in. Process was there. We got some songs, some hits recorded. I'm really excited for that. The last day or two, my lower back has been bothering me OD. So I've been just trying to like take care of that, but I'm sure it's just something I slept on it wrong or probably stood too long at the session. But other than that, doing well. Just getting it done.
It's probably karma for making fun of my bad back for the past 6 months.
There you
You're
go.
getting some temporary arthritis. You feel me? Nah, but
I ain't gonna stop though.
Nah, of course not. But it's only gonna make your back worse. I'm glad to hear that you had a successful session at D Brown's. Feel me? Process was there. You said you had a couple tracks in. My week was good. Kind of productive, kind of slow as well. Just excited to be here finally. You know, my birthday's in 2 weeks. St. Cannon drops in 2 weeks. I'm hyped. You feel me? It's gonna be a good month. January is always fire.
That's what's up. I've been busy, honestly, trying to get a lot organized for my last semester of college. Been trying to get some internship lined up. Had a couple interviews for some dope internships. Hoping to hear back from them this week, so that's exciting. Other than that, just been doing a lot of work on the website. I actually got a lot of stuff done for the website this week, so make sure you guys check that out. Got a couple of articles up. If you've dropped an album last year, go ahead and let some of your fans know we're doing Album of the Year for this year. For last year, I should say. I'm giving away some money. I gave away some money last year. It's a real dope contest. I'm not seeing as much participation this year. I'm not sure if it's because there's a lack of albums dropping or if it's just because people don't want to participate. Either way, I'm not super stressed about it because there's good participation. It's just last year it was heavy. So I don't know what's going on. If you drop, let people know. It's a dope opportunity. It's good to network with everybody. I love doing this type of competition stuff, so it's fun. It's more fun than anything. And if you got fans who will support you, it's an easy way to take home the money. All you got to do is get a bunch of fans to vote for you, and it's free money. So something I want to make sure I let people know about.
Yeah, it's a shame that the engagement fell off slightly from last year, but there has been some really good submissions so far. I saw some amazing albums get submitted, so I'm interested to see who's going to walk home with the W.
Oh, yeah, and I love it because this is a time of year where I get a chance to really sit down and – because I listen to all of them for the editor's choice part, and I straight bump every album top to bottom, give it my honest review, and end up listening to a lot of projects from front to back that I wouldn't just because I don't take the time for it or don't have the time for it in the year. I set the time out at this time to really listen, and last year I got put onto a lot of different artists that I might not have without that competition. Like Sheridan's a good example where I listened to his whole project front to back last year because of the competition. I had listened to some of it before, but the competition is what made me listen, or I don't even want to keep calling it a competition, but the album of the year is what made me listen to it front to back. So it puts me onto a lot of different artists. So if you dropped a project, go ahead and participate. It's a lot of fun. It's good for everybody. It's really cool. So
big facts.
We have a lot going on tonight for the Cypher, though. We are fortunate to have Kory Alexander joining us for our discussion, and we got some questions for him about his project he just dropped called Complicated. But before we jump into all of that, Kory, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing just good. I just touched down to Miami. I just turned 25. New album out. Life is pretty good.
That's what's up, bro.
It's a fucking vibe. But, got a little champagne chilling at the hotel. What could be worse? Could be a worse day.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all for having me on the show, by the way. Stop. Actually, Anthony. So I know we are due to be in the stew. We've been working out. We've been pulling out the dates. We gonna make it happen because listen to that intro song had me lit as fuck. So
my God.
I was looking shit. I was like, oh, this is a vibe. So AB Anthony Alex record dropping, Cannon Kory record dropping. Just watch out.
That's just gonna be crazy when it happens. You feel me? I'm very excited for that. Congratulations on the album release, my man, and happy belated birthday. Gotta be a great feeling. The project was amazing. I'm excited to get a chance to talk about it today. What's on the agenda, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear, Kory, you're doing well. We're all very excited to have you. We all definitely fuck with the album. We're excited to talk about the album. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. But before we jump into that, last year we did focus on discussing news and general pop culture topics. We're going to still cover that kind of stuff, but in a quicker fashion with time permitting. But we're going to change it up a little bit, at least this week, debate some topics related to hip-hop that can pertain to what's going on locally and mainstream, just to sort of get our opinion on some stuff rather than jumping in and talking about news that maybe some of the viewers don't give as much of a fuck about. So, to keep it a buck, I'm trying to keep the content to what people want to listen to, and maybe some of the times when we're talking about Taylor Swift's new album, I don't know how much people care about that one. Sheridan does, but I don't know if everybody does.
Sheridan.
Sheridan can start a folklore podcast if he wants to talk about Taylor Swift. You feel me?
And if it becomes relevant, we'll definitely discuss some Taylor Swift if it becomes relevant in the news. But I want to talk about some stuff that can be relevant to some of the artists that are tuned in, some of the people tuned in. And a topic I saw on Facebook, Jake Daniels actually brought this up in a status on Facebook that I want to discuss. Do you guys think that SoundCloud is still a viable platform for discovery? Kory, we'll let you go ahead and start off.
Okay. I think it is probably a very viable platform to start off of. But when it came to me putting out music, and I've been doing this for a couple years now, SoundCloud wasn't legit. You couldn't get paid off of SoundCloud streams. It was a different time. So I never put a lot of energy into SoundCloud distribution, SoundCloud discovery, whatever the fuck, however you say it. But there's a bunch of people who get serious plays on SoundCloud, and 100,000 SoundCloud streams makes you label viable. 200,000, 300,000, SoundCloud streams makes you like they're checking out your songs. I don't use it. I should probably start, but I don't. Personally, I don't. Not really.
No, I totally hear you on that. You feel me? I feel like most people got their start on SoundCloud, and so that's what most people look at it like. Like that's where you start off. A lot of people. This is what I think about SoundCloud. To answer the question, yes, it is a viable place for people to still discover you. But it's hypocritical of me because I haven't dropped a song on SoundCloud in years. But it's crazy the way that it works. I think when you make the jump from something like SoundCloud to a Spotify or Apple Music, you should be building on SoundCloud and people that are gonna start listening consistently to your music. Once you have 50 to 100 people that are gonna consistently check your shit out, move it to a streaming platform like a Spotify or Apple Music. You feel me? A DSP. But the way SoundCloud reposts work, if you get one popping page to repost your song to their 100,000 of fans, you easily have access to 50,000 to 1 million potential plays. The repost factor of SoundCloud is honestly beautiful if you know how to use it, combined with the hashtag system. And now that you can monetize it, like Kory said, there's a lot of different things that SoundCloud does that other platforms don't, which could help you break through the gap a little bit easier.
I have a question
I think
for you
SoundCloud's
guys.
kind of like TikTok in that sense, random things get like generated and popped up. I think my problem with why I don't put stuff on SoundCloud is because I can't like time it to come out. So like it's like you hit submit and it's just fucking out there.
Right.
Like it's like I can't like and that I don't like. So I can't be like, oh, come out, January 8th at midnight. I can't say cut drop,
That's fair.
That's what I don't that doesn't really fit either. Not to cut you off, Andrew.
Nah, you're good. Who was the first, or not the first, but who was the most recent artist that you guys can think of that has come from SoundCloud? Because I know there have been a lot of artists to blow up off of SoundCloud, but in terms of like recently, I don't know if it's necessarily been a platform to really.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, but that's years ago. You feel me?
Yeah, I guess. But I think about that Ocean Eyes record, and I'm just like, cause, I mean, she's young as fuck still. She's like 18. So like, when that Ocean Eyes record came out, she was maybe like 14,
right?
15.
Yeah, which is
she's like at the top of the charts.
And that's prime SoundCloud era. You feel me? Like 2014 to 2017, 16. A lot of people think that SoundCloud died off. I wouldn't say SoundCloud died off at all. In fact, SoundCloud is doing anything that they can to still stay relevant amongst all the other platforms. And the thing they have going for it is that it's completely free. You can pay for their premium subscription, but it's completely free in the sense where if you drop something, anybody in the fucking world can listen to it. You don't even need the app. You can go to the browser and listen to it. So when I was first starting off on SoundCloud, when I was in high school, maybe even middle school, I could drop a song and it get a couple thousand plays without sharing the song again. You feel me? If people save it, repost it, that type of shit, it's much easier to accumulate plays on SoundCloud because it's not a subscription-based service that people have to choose between platforms and shit like that. You feel me? I think SoundCloud is even easier to get plays on than YouTube.
For sure.
You feel me? I don't know exactly why, but I think it's just easy access. I don't know who the last artist to necessarily blow up off SoundCloud is, but every
Yeah,
week, every 2 weeks, there's somebody viral from a SoundCloud song that.
But that's
that
my
go-
point. Is it doesn't really do a whole lot for them, in my opinion, because it does something. But I feel like it has to be combined with other stuff in order for it to
Yeah.
be, and it always has to be.
Yeah,
But like,
exactly.
it's very
I
difficult
think
for me to consider it like a viable platform for discovery
the
right now. when I don't-
viability of SoundCloud is, to me, doesn't come in as like an alternative or like another thing to use besides every other distribution. I think SoundCloud is just something that's viable for you to use on top of your other distributions. Personally,
That's a
I
great
would-
way to put it. That's a great.
I would
I
agree
would
with that
say-
as well.
I would say what you want to use SoundCloud for is unique ways of outreach that you can't, like Anthony mentioned before, the repost factor. There are definitely unique listeners and ways of marketing on SoundCloud for people that either won't pay for a streaming service, or they loved SoundCloud so much for some reason they got SoundCloud Go or whatever it's called.
Mike, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you three pay for streaming services? You
Yes.
pay for one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I. I use Tidal, whichever, they're all the same. Which black owned, so I'm a Apple doesn't need no more of my money. But like there was I think it was maybe like last year I noticed this prevalence of people who like I was like, what do you listen to music on? And they're like SoundCloud or they're like YouTube, and they only really utilize those free services.
Mhm.
So there's a huge market that you're missing when you don't push those.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's crazy because you don't think about it, or a lot of artists, I think, don't think about it because I think in general artists are subscribed to something like Spotify or something like that. So you don't even consider the audience that is out there that isn't paying for a service and just wants to consume content via SoundCloud or YouTube. Like, that's something for me I don't even think of. I don't think that there's that huge of an audience out there that isn't currently paying to use Spotify and just wants to use SoundCloud because it's free. I assume, but there actually is. That's what's crazy.
I couldn't.
That's how Latin trap got big. All those Latin artists that like it was like,
Mhm.
who are you? Like I've never heard of you, but you have 1 billion views on YouTube. Who are you?
Right.
Where did this come from? And I think it's because there's a bunch of people in the South America, whoever that like is consuming that music, who's perfectly fine pumping that shit on YouTube on their TV
Exactly.
through
Right.
their system and run up the numbers.
I think people got this negative connotation from dropping music on SoundCloud. They hate this SoundCloud rapper label. But like Sheridan said, if you use SoundCloud as a platform on top of your other distributions, it'll do wonders for you. You feel me?
And it's
Because there's a
technically
difference.
SoundCloud payouts
Pays-
are more than pretty much any other streaming service.
Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers on that, but that's not the first time I've heard that, so I gotta take your word for it. You feel me? The thing that I think is a big factor is that the people that I couldn't get a Spotify or I couldn't get a Tidal until I became an adult and had my own debit card and could pay for my own subscription system. I think the demographic on
Interesting.
SoundCloud or YouTube, you can have a bunch of high school, middle school, or even college students that don't have access to their own debit card or their parents aren't paying for their system. So it could open up your demographic and get fans that aren't typically listening or tuned into the Spotify or DSP waves. So that's another benefit I think you could get from releasing on something like SoundCloud. It's a whole different market.
And
It doesn't seem like it would hurt. Like if you have a distro deal with whoever the fuck your distro deals with, and then just upload it to SoundCloud.
yeah.
Like it won't hurt.
No, it makes sense to consistently utilize different platforms, I think. But the thing is, if you're gonna have it on different platforms, let people know.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens with a lot of artists is they put it here, they put it there, they put it through the distribution service that does put it on all the platforms, but then they don't really link it to every platform. They link it to the platform they're most used to. And if people don't even know that you have music on SoundCloud, they can't go and find it, or they don't have access to the links. And that's a difficult thing with SoundCloud, I think, is it's almost harder to find certain artists based on the name because there's so many artists' names on SoundCloud, at least for me.
Sure.
That I've had trouble finding a lot of upstate artists on there just by trying to search them up because it can be difficult. So you have to have that stuff out there for people. It's smart to have something like a link tree set up or whatever to go to your SoundCloud, your Spotify, your iTunes, go to everything. So that way,
everything.
yeah. I think that's a big issue with it too, is people will put their stuff on SoundCloud, but they don't network it enough to let people know. I think that kind of goes across all streaming platforms. They put it out there and they think you're going to go and find it instead of providing you with the link to go and find it.
The ease of access. Yeah, I mean, I still see people.
Bro, I'll see. Bro, they'll make a huge ass post with the cover art and all these words about all this work they put into this new album they just dropped, and then there's no link. Like, there's
or it's just one DSP. It's just like Apple Music. Like everybody listens to music on Apple Music.
Yeah.
I used to be when I dropped Colorblind, I was guilty of that. TuneCore. It's because I used to drop music through TuneCore. TuneCore doesn't give you a hyperlink with all the links in one place. So it wasn't even until I switched to DistroKid.
I was gonna say Distro is who you're using now. Okay, yeah.
Exactly. I didn't even know that was the thing, and it makes something so much easier. It provides you with a link tree to every single song that you have, and so people really do shoot themselves in the foot when they do something like that. But that's also something that they need to hear and know that they're doing wrong, because if you don't, then you're just gonna be like, why does my song have 10 views?
Right.
You feel me? Like, you're not gonna really understand.
A note to all artists out there: don't name yourself something so complicated or something so common that no one can fucking find you. Don't do that, because if I put in the effort to look your ass up, I've taken time. You've gotten my attention out of my social media feed. I'm like, okay, I fuck with this. I'll give this a shot. You got about 15 to 20 seconds of me trying to find your name and trying to find this project before I give the fuck up.
And in 15 to 20 seconds, you're a nice person. A lot of people, if they can't find you in 3 seconds, you out of here. I was at a concert with Blicker. We went to go see Benny and Westside and them in Buffalo, and I really fucked with one of the openers. His name was, I can't even remember. It was Young World and somebody else. Richie ended up working with Young World actually, but. They shouted out their IGs and shit, and I went to go follow them, but they just told you their names. They didn't tell you the weird nuanced spelling that they have of it. And so there's one artist that I heard that I fell in love with in Buffalo that I'll never find again because they didn't provide me with what I needed to look them up. You feel me? So situations like that, he lost somebody that would have streamed his music going forward, you feel me? So situations like that, I totally agree with Kory.
And you guys mentioned DistroKid. That's actually that brings me up to an interesting topic with all the with all the stuff with all the playlisting stuff that happened the last couple of weeks. We have to talk about it, I think. And I'm curious, Ant, to hear what you think because I saw a lot of people mad at DistroKid for pulling off tracks. Was there any point where you were like, I don't want to use this service because of this?
I don't want to use this service because of this. No, but it did scare me. You feel me? Because this kind of opens the door for a lot of different things.
Right, and obviously, before we get too far into it, I want to preface, obviously, you're not out there paying for streams and shit, so that's why you weren't affected by it. But just to make it, yeah, you know what I mean? But so that's not why I'm asking why you might not want to use it, but just in general, the fact that they were pulling music off without any warning.
I
understand that.
DistroKid has definitely been my favorite platform to distribute music from. So I haven't had too many complaints with that. I think this all falls in line with what we talked about a couple months ago when Spotify is about to start offering systems of playlisting where you can exchange royalty payouts for a wider audience. And I think they're trying.
Oh my God! Are they about to do that? That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had teased it for sure. Yeah, they had talked about it.
They said that they'll promote you and get you playlistings if you subject to and agree to a smaller payout in terms of royalties.
They don't really pay shit anyway. So
exactly, they don't pay shit anyways. But I also think that they're cracking down on third-party playlists or people that are promoting music in other sources that get you plays, but they have to pay you for every play that you get. If you're not getting valid plays in their eyes, they're going to do anything they can to not pay you. And if they crack down on third-party playlists, they crack down on not paying you, and then they offer their own playlisting method, there's going to be like somewhat of a monopoly. They're forcing people to go through them in order to get any type of success. But if you get the success, they're going to give you a smaller rate of payout. You feel me? So it's a weird situation. I never thought about not using them, but I would if I had a guaranteed better distributor.
And to that point, Sheridan, you've talked about utilizing different distribution services than DistroKid. What ones are there that you might suggest to people who don't know about them, and why are they better?
I got a couple of those too.
Well, yeah. So Kory and I are using the same one right now, I believe. No pun intended. We're both using Believe.
Funny.
We're both using Believe right now. But I don't really know, Kory, do you know, like, if it, like, just anyone can use Believe, or do you think that's just something we're able to do through Cosmo?
I currently have 3 distribution deals because I'm a little extra. My first one is with Symphonic, and they're pretty fire because they do video distribution, which is nice. So if you're like me and you have a lot of visuals, anyone who's going to do your video distribution with just let alone the ability to do it, let alone like a discount on the price or whatever the fuck you ever want to put it, video distribution is like a separate thing that everyone doesn't do. So even if you use DistroKid, which doesn't do video, you still then need to go find a deal with Symphonic or with someone else who will do your videos if that's what you're looking for. My other deal is with AWOL. They're cool. They're coming into prominence because like a couple people are signed with them. Like I think Phineas just signed with them and a couple other people, and they're all right. They do like pretty full scale music distribution. Like it's pretty wide. But they don't do visuals, which doesn't really work for me. And then me and Sheridan, and then recently I switched to I did this like complicated. I did with Believe, which is a European label. They also do visuals. And so I kind of stumbled across the opportunity for a Believe distribution deal and wasn't really interested to keep it a buck because I was like, it doesn't really do much for me. I have a distribution deal with the same percentage take or whatever. So, you know, because like DistroKid, you pay like $10 a year or $10 a month or something like that to keep your releases up. I think it's something like that.
$20 a year for unlimited releases if you have the base plan.
And you keep it up, but you pay that every year for all of your things, right? So like with Believe, you don't have to pay anything. With AWOL, you don't have to pay anything. So
they just take but do they take a percentage of your royalties?
They do.
Okay.
To the tune of 20 to 30%, which is, I guess it depends on how much you're making from your. It depends on how much you're making from your deal.
30%.
It's relatively. I found that to be relatively like standard because AWOL's was also 20 to 30%.
Yeah, but
then more about 25%.
That's because if you're making any money off of music, if you're so say something like DistroKid, $20 a year for unlimited releases, 20 to 30%. If you made $200 off of music, then they just took that subscription from you. You feel me? United Masters.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
United Masters is another platform that I know a lot of artists that use who they don't charge an upfront fee either. But I think
percentage.
Yeah, and I think it's 10% or 15%, and that's in the grand scheme of things. You don't think that that's a lot of money, but if you're taking 10% or 15% of almost nothing, because most artists at the base
aren't
level
pulling in that much money. Yeah.
Exactly. Then it does end up taxing yourself a lot. So it did take me back when I heard 20 to 30, but I guess that is standard.
I guess so. Here's it's like, all right, 20 to 30, sure, but okay. So look at so this is like Believe, and I enjoy them for this reason. So like me, I did this album. This album's got 12 tracks, 10 videos, and I'm always fucking shooting music videos. I'm constantly doing that. Like I'm constantly doing that. So every time I was putting up a video, because I want a video on Tidal, I want it on Apple Music, I want it in all of the spots, I want it fully distributed, whatever the fuck, Vivo, that's $100 a video.
Yeah.
So off rip, to do this album and release this album just the way that I had been in the past was going to cost me album fees plus release fees plus $1,000 just
for the videos.
Releases.
Yeah.
So me, who's like where I'm trying to keep where like the production on this project was probably like, how much did it cost me to make this album? 1 second. Three. This album probably cost me like $600 to $700 to make, versus my last EP cost me like $1,400 and had half of the songs and half of the videos. So this one cost me quite a bit less, and I did quite a bit more. I think we took the content level up as well. But one of those things was just like, you're gonna have to make cuts somewhere where Believe is in the same way taking a chance on me, however you want to put it. Like, oh, you know, you got 100,000 streams to your name. Like, what are we gonna, like, you know, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna run this through the machine. Yeah, if one pops, we're gonna take 20%. We're gonna take 25%. I guess that's fair. And they're not like exclusive deals. So like, you know, if I'm like, oh, my next album or my next song, I don't want to drop. Me and Anthony's the new shit that's coming out. Me and Sheridan, the new shit that's coming out. If it didn't need to be Believe, it didn't have to be. And so that was the.
And so these are like deals that you guys, like Sheridan was saying, I guess you have to work yourself into, right? There's only a certain number of distribution services that anyone can use, like DistroKid, right? I'm just totally
just
clueless.
pay for DistroKid.
Well, there's dozens and dozens of distributors, and I know somebody that just opened up their own distribution platform. You feel me? You can literally go through them as a DistroKid or something. I think they have 500 people subscribe to them as of right now. Other ones that I've heard that are really good, which I was actually, people recommended this to me to start out on, was CD Baby. Yeah, CD Baby. You can they'll press CDs for you, they'll press vinyls for you. You can do more promotion to them. As you should be. You celebrating that album release. But,
you know what I'm saying?
But something like CD Baby, where you could press CDs and merch and vinyls through, and will give you more means to promoting outside of your regular medium. I think that could be very helpful. I've never actually used it. TuneCore is the only thing that I did not really enjoy using. TuneCore took my project off of streaming services because you have to pay a fee every year, and they didn't remind me about the fee. So they just took Colorblind, which was my debut, off of streaming services, and I lost over 50,000 streams. So
the email for that is probably in those 20,000 emails you got chilling there, Ant, that you shared on Snapchat. The email reminder is in there, bro. Now that's shitty though, and that's
one of the problems with those DSPs. If you don't keep up so here's what happens. Like, all right, bang, some shit happens, and I die next year. Ooh, awful. Okay, great.
Somebody's got to keep up the payment. Yeah, somebody's got to keep
up the payment. So so like with Believe, with Symphonic, with a handful of those ones where the money is where it's not an upfront fee. Your music is still up there. Basically, like with DistroKid, I also believe with TuneCore, CD Baby, you are renting your ISRC codes. You are renting them for the fee of that $10 a year or however, whenever it comes out to be.
There's a price that you can pay when you upload that is like, in case you die, this will stay up for forever. And I've never clicked that box because that's
they do have that. Okay, interesting. Okay, sure.
DistroKid, but you do have to pay extra for it, and you do have to check the box. I'm not sure about TuneCore, but it is something that is a weird feeling. Like if anything tragic happens, somebody loses access to you, something happens to you, nobody can get into your email, nobody has your passwords. Your shit is gone.
Your shits are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. Your shit is gone. And one of the things about music is like, I look at it like a timestamp. So, you know, it's like, oh, well, this was me when I was 25, and this was me when I was 18, and this was me when I was, you know, whatever. Like this was then. I can remember that then and look back at this as a thing. If that goes away, that's a little depressing to put it, to keep it a bug. I guess a little depressed, at least as far as like artists are concerned. Other people might not give a fuck, but like the people who release music, like, you know, like it.
No, even the listeners, you know what I mean? That would be a shitty circumstance that you end up in, even as a listener. So it's a good point. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's a lot of different distributions out there. It's up to the artist to figure out what each platform offers and what works best for what you're trying to do.
And just take the time and research it. Really, like just go through, Google it, look at what they provide you in terms of the different platforms and what you can do. I didn't even know that CD Baby could do merchandise and stuff for you. So that type of stuff could be intriguing to someone that other people might not think is so interesting. So yeah, I think check it out. There's all kinds of distribution services out there. Another topic I got that I'm interested to hear what you guys think is, why are artists hesitant to network? It's something we've seen a lot of people in the area willing to network and willing to come together, but also with this stems off of my situation with the album of the year thing. I'm surprised that there's not more involvement, and I've reached out to a couple artists who aren't from our general area. They're from like Albany or Buffalo or wherever, and they're not as responsive. And I'm wondering why. Why are artists hesitant to network outside of what they know already?
There's a lot of different answers to this question. It's almost like, what do you consider networking? Are you saying like, why don't artists collab? Why don't they reach out? Why don't they go?
Why don't they try to get outside of their general area? You know what I mean? We have social media at our fingertips, honestly, and yet I don't see enough artists trying to connect with another artist from even a couple hours away.
I think a lot
we
of
should do an episode. I just got a notification. We should do, and they talking about connection. We should do an episode with Clubhouse. Like, I don't know how.
I've been thinking about it.
And Andrew, keep those things in your minds. Like, how do we do a Clubhouse episode? They just were pulling up, and it seemed to tap with what you were saying. My apologies. Keep going.
That's crazy.
No, and even with that, honestly, that ties in really well, because I don't see enough artists jumping into Clubhouse to network. It's right there at your fingertips to go in and talk to other people and engage with that audience. You might have to wait an hour or whatever to get on stage to say to present yourself, but in that hour you hear of other people doing stuff. You can network with other people. I've seen some artists that are like, oh, just jump in this follow for follow room, and I can understand that, because I'm trying to build a platform on there. It's confusing to me to see artists do that, because you need for people to hear what you're doing. You don't just need followers on there. You need for people to hear what it is you're presenting. You can get on that stage and play 30 seconds of a track, and all of a sudden there's 500 people who know you, and 50 of them are going to go search you up. Like, there's different stuff that you can really pull from that, and I'm just surprised to see not as many artists utilizing the networking that could be available. Sheridan, you've been quiet, Sheridan. Why aren't artists using Clubhouse? Why aren't you on there talking enough? You love to talk.
Well, with Clubhouse, I don't really know. I think it's a forum platform for a lot of people that it's very different than any other social media that's come out. So it's even for me, I kind of just go into rooms that are more so listening. Mm-hmm. I don't do a whole lot of I don't even know if I've talked into a room at all. One artist I've seen in a lot of different rooms is T Melly. It seems like he's jumping in rooms quite a bit lately, which I think
it's a good way to gain followers.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do. I think in general, pride goes into the networking a lot. I think even I remember before I was really involved with the podcast and involved with you guys, I was at a point where I was like, dude, fuck everybody else from around here. Like, I'm doing my thing. Nobody else is really. I don't really think anybody else is gonna go to my level. Like, I'm doing my thing. Until I realized that there could be a lot more gain from a community aspect. I think a lot of people just haven't really seen that.
I feel like what artists need is, and this is particularly from an artist perspective, you drop a record, you need 20,000 streams in your first week. That's what you need. That's what you need for Spotify to pick you up. That's what you need for your local paper to be like, oh, who's he? Whatever the fuck it is, like that's what you need. And it's very easy to get 20,000 streams if you just actually network from your city. It's like, if you're like, oh, like,
just actually network, to be honest, like, I just don't see it, like, across every platform. So for another example, Reddit. I don't see enough artists just going on to different subreddits and, like, posting their videos or their latest track or whatever and being like, yo, check this out, and trying to find a new following there, or a new, like we already talked about Clubhouse and stuff. There's not enough jumping through different platforms.
And I'm gonna be honest, this is something that I'm actually still guilty of, but I still be preaching on other people. Clubhouse is a new platform. I've spoke twice in a room. I've probably jumped into about 6 rooms to listen to. I've spent a very minimal amount of time on Clubhouse. And when I was promoting Cartel, right before it dropped and a couple weeks after it dropped, I was promoting Cartel heavy on Reddit, and it's the first music video or song that I've ever pumped on Reddit. You feel me? I saw a mild success, but it also to me felt like I don't know, I didn't know how to use the platform properly, and I was putting it in the wrong groups. So I felt bad. I was getting views from people trying to talk about social justice.
Care.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like shameless advertisement. You feel me? Like, we're all talking about Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, hey, check this music video out, which is kind of related, but it's also like, hey, just watch me. You feel me? Exactly, shameless plug. Yeah. So I stopped doing that for a little bit, but I plan to, after getting my feet wet in it.
And I'm gonna disagree with you on that, where I don't think it's shameless. I think that it's all right, and I bring that up because I could think of Kory Loveless's recent video. I could think of Kory Loveless' recent video that he dropped, and I would love to have seen him dropping that into Reddits that fit that demographic. You know what I mean? And it can help bring awareness to it and help spread awareness, even though you're trying to get attention to what you have going on. If your initial, and it comes down to the reason you created the video. If the reason you created the video was just for attention, like we've seen plenty of people do to make shit like controversial or whatever, then that's one thing. But if you made the video with the intention of wanting to help spread awareness or wanting to just speak on something you care about, then I think it's important to share it into those communities, because those are the people who care. Those are the people who give a fuck. And while your general Facebook audience or Twitter audience will care too, you should go out of your way to try and reach the exact demographic that you were targeting, you know? It might feel like you're doing something shitty, but if your initial intention was to bring attention to it, you have to bring attention to it, you know?
I completely agree with you. I was talking to Ty Vegas about something like this a little bit ago. I'll try to keep this short. He was trying to post on Facebook and talk about why he has all these friends on Facebook that don't end up supporting. You feel me? Like, trying to convert a friend into a fan. You feel me? It'll always be hard to convert a friend into a fan, because they know you as a friend. They support you in a different type of way. They might not even fuck with your music all the way, but they respect what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. It's so much easier to get somebody who's never heard of you before, or never has no image or perception of you in their head, to fuck with you genuinely, than it is to convert.
Because they're just listening from a what's it called perspective. Like, they're just listening from
an outside perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're just appreciating the art and you for what it is off of first impression. You feel me? So when you come to networking, a lot of artists, they don't even know how to network. They think they are networking, but they're not. 2, kind of what Sheridan said, a lot of people are in a bubble where they have 2 or 3 artists that they fuck with and might make music with or talk music with, but everybody else to them is either in a place below them, or they don't have like faith. They don't see the same vision that they do. When you realize that we can all help each other reach the destination, and any of this, we all have something that we can offer another artist in this area, whether it be a verse, whether it be a piece of advice, or just...
I don't think everyone has something they can offer another artist in the area. I don't think that. There's a bunch of people who like, I'm like, no, if they hit me up right now, if they hit me up right fucking now and they were like, let's do a track, I'd be like, no. Then there's also artists.
But if they listen to your
like
track,
there's also artists like Jake, you know, who they put out music and they're doing relatively well. They're putting up numbers that are interesting. Like, they're putting up numbers that are, you know, they're putting up solid numbers, and then there's this intimidation, like, oh, can I send Jake Daniels a track for him to fuck with me on? Can I do that? If I send my album to Upstate Authentic, like, if they haven't reached out to you, like they might be like, oh, is Andrew gonna like it? Is Anthony gonna like it? Is Sheridan gonna like it? They might not.
Right, and I can understand that, and that really falls into the pride thing too, but that's what I'm saying is you have to get past that, because if you can't get past that with your peers or with a local blog, you will never get past it when you meet a real A&R or when you meet people in a label that are you gonna go up to, so you won't show your songs to the Cypher or Upstate Aesthetic, but you're gonna go and present it to a label.
Well,
it's like,
I think a lot of people feel like, oh, like my area doesn't understand me, another place will understand me, they'll get it, you know what I mean?
Then utilize other platforms and try to network to those audiences, you know what I mean? You don't have to just cater to your audience. I see a lot of artists that just want someone to do it all for them. Like they'll share the video and the rest of it needs to be done. Put it on Reddit for me.
I was gonna say I want somebody
to do it for me.
Like that shit would make my life better. A lot of people they're not trying to put themselves in a position where somebody else is going to be doing everything for them. Like Sheridan was saying,
you have to do it first. You know what I mean?
A lot of people, of course, a lot of people feel like their hometown either is hating. They're not gonna ever gravitate to what they're doing, and they'll talk about.
Colony is full of haters. I can't even lie. Full of them.
Everybody's
hating.
Especially in your hometown, because you're trying to make fans out of niggas that known you since kindergarten, that watch you piss on the mat during nap time and pre.
That's mad funny. That's fucking
like, I'm never gonna cop your album. I watched you piss on the mat when you was a
God.
That, feel me? Like I watched you be horrible in basketball in third grade, and now you talk about balling on a track. There's people that dead ass hold these preordained perceptions that they built into you over time, or even things that they've heard about you throughout the community that'll determine whether or not they check you out.
Right?
And then,
Okay.
Talk about how they would have more success in another area when a phone or a laptop connects you to the whole entire world. You have another area at your fingertips. You could be pushing yourself somewhere else right now as we speak.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good point. It's just a point. Honestly, I want to see more artists work together. So if you tuned into this, you probably already kind of fit the criteria. You're probably already working on the networking thing. But it's a good point. It's something more artists need to do. Utilize different platforms like Reddit, like Clubhouse. Like, don't just use Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, because people have already started doing it with those. You got to try new stuff like TikTok and Reddit and everything. Put in, even just set aside an hour every day or a couple hours a week and sit down and just post on Reddit, just post on Instagram, post on everything, and I guarantee you will see at least some change in your streams or something. If you take the time and put forth the effort and not just 1 week, but a couple of weeks, you will see change in what you have going on. You're not gonna blow up, but things will change. So
you might even blow up. You might blow up.
Yeah.
Facebook is dead. Instagram is dying, and Twitter is doing whatever the fuck they can to stay afloat right
Facebook
now.
is dead. Facebook is dead. That's where this platform is hosted on, and we can't say that. The podcast
Facebook is dead.
Facebook is alive and well.
Get a Red Table Talk deal. Get do that. So we can do that.
I got two short news things I want to briefly just highlight. We don't got to spend too much time on them, but Bobby Shmurda is going to be released from prison hopefully next month. That's exciting. We've also relax. I could care. I'm excited, especially as a fan. I'm a big Bobby Shmurda fan.
He said, "Oh, relax."
Other news though, Conflicted, the Griselda movie is dropping this Saturday. I'm excited for that one. I will be paying to tune into that.
Dope.
Dropping where?
That's
Amazon,
a good point.
Amazon.
It on Amazon?
Amazon.
It'll be on. Is it going to be on Prime where you could, if you have Prime, you could just watch it?
I think it's Prime. Let me check right now though to make sure.
Okay, we like that.
That's super fire if that's the case.
The album's dope.
I was struggling to find the link to the website to buy it last night. I found it through Westside Gun's Twitter. He posted it a couple days ago. I was like, yo, y'all have to do something about this. This is local artists who don't promote their shit. If I couldn't just Google Conflicted Griselda and the movie or the website be there. You know what I mean? That was kind of concerning. But I am excited excited for the movie regardless. I'm gonna be tuned in. I'm gonna be on Twitter posting some
So,
gifs, talking about how fucking stupid it is if it's stupid or how good it is if it's good. So I'm gonna keep it.
I'm not gonna lie, the soundtrack was dope, but the skits sounded kind of weird.
It'll probably be weird, but I've seen some decent reviews for it from people who caught an early watch. So I'm just hyped to see something different. You know what I mean?
I heard it was a real. I don't know, cause if you don't like, and granted, I don't know if any of y'all saw shit like this. Did y'all see Belly? Did y'all watch Belly?
Nah.
So like, if you
I feel like I have seen Belly actually.
like, if a nigga watched Belly and didn't like it, you're not gonna like this movie. You feel me? Like, they said that this is a classic street telling tale, and how well they can depict classic street shit in their music, I'm sure they can do it in another media.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm excited for it. I haven't seen Belly, but I've seen enough street movies that I think I'm excited for it. It might be horrible, but that kind of adds to it sometimes. So that'll add. If there's a little bit of comedy to it, it'll be all right.
Yo, I still can't find an article right now backing this up, but I saw it on Twitter that said it's dropping on Prime on the 15th. So
Right. Yeah, if it is, fuck yeah. I've made sure to bookmark the link because, like I said, they aren't doing the best job at promoting where to get it. That's the one thing they need to do is promote where to watch the movie, because I'm sure people will be willing to pay, but they're gonna be pissed when they can't find the link. Like we talked about earlier, you got about 30 seconds. So
big facts.
Yeah, however many people watch this would have just got the link and just got the where to, and however the Griselda check what the fuck.
yeah, exactly. That wraps up the news and shit. We got to talk about this project you just dropped, though, Kory. Every one of us definitely enjoyed it. It was a fucking phenomenal project. We've been anticipating it for literally 41 weeks because the first episode of the Cypher, we played one of your tracks, and I'm sure
No
we
way.
were like,
That was the first episode?
yeah, and I'm sure we were like, oh
Talk about
man,
that, like, you guys are fire.
I'm like,
I was on my way to Los Angeles. It was literally 41 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The world was shutting down left and right around me. I was staying in a fucking trailer, and I had no money to my name. And I get tagged in this article. I'm like, what's this? And it's you three talking about Wish Us Luck. Super fire.
It's so crazy.
Super fire. Super dope.
Because we were definitely at that point like, man, I can't wait to get a full-length project from him. Here we are, 41 weeks later. We got what we were waiting for, and I think it absolutely delivered.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Fuck yeah.
I know Sheridan
I
at the
spent a lot of time on it. So I would like to hear what you guys. So I've thought a lot about this stupid thing. I want to hear about what you guys.
I'm not going to front, bro. It just looks like you on your victory lap right now in Miami.
Right?
It look like this nigga made it, bro. Like this album got him lamping in the tropical paradise. Like,
Right?
Nah. So, what is the first question, Andrew? Or are we just talking about the album?
I got a question. How long were you working on it? You mentioned that you put a lot of time into this. How long you been working on this one?
Okay, the concept for Complicated came into mind about 2 years ago, and right after Cocky came out. So Cocky came out in maybe like July of 2018, and so I was like, bang, I'm gonna make a new album called Complicated. I'm gonna drop it in a year. It'll be ready in a year. I had been writing all of these things, like from the Cocky sessions. I had written a lot of stuff. And I had leftover records that I thought were strong and that I thought could make it onto this thing. I was like, I'm going to do a full length. While making the project, like me and like who I had mixing it, we kind of fell out. I went on tour with Soliad, which was crazy because now he's doing well. He just like, he's got his deal with Island. And he's like totally doing like the record label thing and lives in Albany. He lives on fucking like Pine Street. Like it's
dope.
Like it's cool.
Oh shit, let's go rob him. He just gave up to that. You said he lived where?
I'm dead.
We went on tour with Sully and his friends, and we had inked the tour right before he had inked the deal with Island Records. So like we were like, bang, we're going on tour, and then like 2 weeks later he was like, bang, just signed like a $750,000 deal with Island Records, like, and So I wanted to make a full length project. While I was on the tour, someone told me, they were like, "Yo, like I like your music, but I don't feel like you have a hit." And I was like, "Oh."
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
They were just like, "I don't feel like you have a hit." So I said, "Okay." And with this project, I sat down and I was like, "Well, I wanted to make an album of hits." But like, you know, and make them like string together as a singular project. I was going for an album of singles. I tried. But yeah, it's super, super dope. I've definitely been working on this since, the first song I think I finished was Dunder Mifflin. I think that was the first song that was completed. That or maybe Like I Do. That was towards the top of the project. And the last thing I cut was Jealousy and Conflict. And that was definitely like an 18, 20 month project or so.
And so over the course of those 18 to 20 months, how many tracks got cut? How many did you not decide to utilize for the project?
Okay, so there's 12 on the album. Wish Us Luck got everything for the EP that dropped in March, which is the reason why we know each other and are friends now. All of those things were cut for the project. So Turbulence, Whirlwind, probably about 30 songs. 20,
So
28, something like that.
That 4-piece was essentially throwaways.
Yeah, I feel like it had been too long since I had put something out. I needed to put something out, and I had been making things. Like I had been in the studio, I had been writing, I was making things happen. I just didn't put a record out. So I said, I'm gonna take the love songs off of Complicated and put them on an EP, and that was Wish Us Luck, which included, my bad. That was Leftover Love, and that included Wish Us Luck and Like I Do and Turbulence. And I put Like I Do on the project because I really do like that song. I like the other ones too. I don't know. It's okay. I want to keep it short.
No, it's fair. 18, 20 months. That's a good amount of time for a project. How
crazy.
When you say what the 18 months, was that from start to release or start to completion of the album? I'm not sure if I missed that.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to figure out when exactly it was I started recording the project. It was probably in like August or September of 2018, and then it was released in January of 2021. But it was done in November. It was completed in November. I was trying to get it out in time to put it out and make sure there were no problems with release and no issues and there's a lot of bullshit and making music. So I was trying to,
Yeah.
Talk that shit.
Give a little bit of leeway. Beyonce put out B-Day on her 25th birthday, and it was like a big album for me, and like what she like I thought that album was fire, and like she's like I like her a lot. So I always wanted to put out when I was 12, 13, 14, however the fuck old it was. I was like, I'm gonna put out an album on my 25th birthday. So that was complicated. Not as complicated.
Speaking things into fruition.
Right.
That's dope.
We've talked about how you moved from New York to LA. You've been around a lot. What was it like working with people in New York compared to working with people in LA?
Okay, I have made very few music with people in Los Angeles. The people I've made, because I moved to Los Angeles right at the top of the pandemic, I've gotten in the studio with maybe 3 people, 3 groups, 3 instances since I've gotten to Los Angeles. I've still been cutting a bulk of my music in New York because that's where I am home. That's where I found I can cut a record. My people, I know who I'm fucking with. I know who I'm working with. They know what I like. Whatever, like I come to New York for a week, I cut me a couple records, I go back to Los Angeles. That's kind of been the flow I've been on. Me and Sheridan got in the studio in Los Angeles. When I got to right at the top of moving to Los Angeles, we made a cool record. I think that's coming out around maybe like Valentine's Day. That should be fun. Shot a video, did a whole little thing. I think that was the first thing I cut in LA, actually. Because I was just like I had just gotten there and LA was super shut down, and it's a super fun record. There are these bad bitches taking.
Did you just say you just got married?
Right now. No, I did not just get married.
Nah, he said he just got there. He just got there.
Oh, I was like, wait, this nigga just gonna throw that in there, like.
I did not just get married. That is not what happened. Nope.
I'm dead.
That's
My
not what's
bad.
going on currently. Yeah, but I moved across the country right at the middle of the pandemic. Like I said, when I was moving, I had just gotten to LA. Like it was like the first night, and that was like a Wednesday, and the show had aired, and it was like Kory. I was like, "Who's this?" I was like, "This is cool. Super dope." Super shout outs to what you guys are doing. I see the growth. I've really been watching since the beginning, and it's cool to see. It's cool to watch. I love
Good.
it.
It's fire to finally get you up here, and what better time than when you actually have a project?
Right. With this project, and you had mentioned you took a lot off. Is there any plans to release a deluxe with some of those tracks attached to it?
So I'm probably not gonna release the deluxe album. I'm feeling like dropping singles. Jake has me feeling like singles are a vibe. So fuck it. I'm dropping singles this year, and I've got a lot of them. So I'm like, I did this album. I've been recording. Like I said, I've been recording for the last like year and a half, 20 months, however long. Like I write all the time. So like I've got a bunch of shit in the vault. So Anthony talks about in the studio doing AAV, and I'm like, this is a vibe. Like I get that. Like I love it. I get that. I love it all. I'm like trying to. Because I've been shooting like and what was fun about this album is like I was kind of doing these videos all around the world. So like the Out of Bounds video is in Amsterdam, and Locked is in LA, and what other fucking videos are there? A movie is in South Carolina, and I was kind of like going around and doing stuff, and I've still been traveling. There's a bunch of things lying around, so I'm gonna drop them. That's some singles. See what's good.
That's so dope, bro. I think a lot of artists almost like dream of doing stuff like that. I know that that's something that I want to do specifically is travel for videos. I thought I was gonna have a chance to when I had the tour. You feel me? I brought Zakai on the road so we could shoot videos at random locations and do spontaneously. You feel me? It's gonna bring the art to life and show timestamps as like, oh, this is where niggas were. And you traveled the world during a pandemic shooting videos. Like, you got to. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I've gotten a few COVID tests. I'm trying to stay.
Oh no, I don't even. I'm not even saying in terms of that. I'm just saying like the world itself is different right now, and you got to capture that on film in different places.
Yeah, well, like. I don't know if you were in the chat yet when we were talking about it, Anthony, but he's talking about recording some videos after this conversation's done. Like he's in Miami getting ready to record videos in a closed down or a much more quiet Miami than people are used to. So to that point, like he's taking advantage of it, and it's going to be interesting to see. Kory, you record all of these videos, you shoot all this stuff yourself, right?
I do. That is true. That is true. I usually, it's either me with me set up on some type of tripod setup, or I ask friend A or B, who usually doesn't have much experience with the camera, to come in and, can you hold this for me? Occasionally I ask like strangers, like, can you hold this camera and just kind of like keep it pointed at me? And I'll take care of it in the edit room, which is exactly what I might do in this pool scene right now, because this looks delicious. Miami is looking dope, and I'm like, oh, this looks like a vibe. So I'm thinking I'll put on some trunks, take my shirt off, and do something. I don't know.
Was it hard for you at first to do that? Because I don't know that everyone can just go out and grab a tripod, throw their camera on it, and record a video. And you know what I mean? Or was it something that because you're just so naturally outgoing, you were like, this is light, I could do this?
I went to school for English and theater, and a music minor. And then I went to school to get my Pro Tools certs and stuff. So like I'm an operator. There's like 3 levels. I think it's user, operator, teacher. But I'm an operator. Just so that I could have conversations and be able, you know what I mean? So just so that I could be able, that's a song. I'm an operator. That's a record. We're going to make it a thing. But like, I went to school to be able to make these things and do them generally on my own. I did video by myself. I feel like once you can edit music, you can edit video. They're not as complicated for the most part. But I went to school for theater, so telling a story is something I like to do and try. I don't know. But I've been
It's
trying
just
videos-
crazy how you can put these together, these visuals together by yourself. You know what I mean? Like they're very high quality, and just to the idea that you're doing it primarily alone with the help of just a couple other people helping you out, like that's incredible, dude. Because the videos are what drew me to you in the first place. Like you posted a video on Facebook, I saw it and was like, holy shit, this is so good. We have to talk about it. So.
I appreciate that. I'm working really hard. I'm trying to figure out how to do this and do it the best that I can. I'm not really like the best at anything. I'm not a great singer. I'm not a great rapper. I'm not a great dancer. But I can kind of do them all. I'm not, you know what I mean? I can kind of like try them, and that's what I.
You're pretty solid. You're a good hand at all of them.
If you keep that in your head, which I don't even necessarily agree with you on those, but if you keep yourself in your head the whole time, then you can consciously still get better at all of those skills. You feel me? If you sat there in your head and you're like, oh nah, I'm this amazing rapper or singer, but I'm decent with the camera, then you're only gonna work on camera footage. You feel me? You're not gonna try and get better in other platforms. Seems like you still feel like you have a ways to go before you're where you want to be. You feel me?
Until my shit is competing with the Drake's shit. Until my shit is competing with like, you know, who else's shit is like elite, Beyonce's shit, with fucking, you know, J-Lo's shit. Until my videos look like their videos, we've got levels to be making. But I'm working on it. I'm trying. I like to travel and work. It kind of like is like two birds in one stone. If I fly to Miami for my birthday, I can like shoot a music video while I'm here, or a B-side to a music video while I'm here, and you know, write off this idea. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna, you know, this is. I'm going to Denver on Thursday to go skiing with my friend. I never do anything for my birthday. It's my 25th birthday. I don't ever do anything for my birthday. This year is my birthday week, so today is still my birthday. Today is still my birthday. And tomorrow, which is still my birthday, I will be flying to Denver to ski and maybe shoot. I don't know, maybe do like I feel like this juxtaposition of Miami and Denver might be funny, or maybe I'll just shoot like an Alps video for some thing.
That could be interesting.
Right, it could be fun. We'll
That would
see.
be definitely an interesting dynamic. How long have you been making videos, Kory? How long have you been recording your own videos? Has that been longer than music, or did you start music and then get into recording videos?
No, I started music and I liked music, and then I hired someone to do my music video, and they didn't want to edit it, essentially, and so I edited it myself.
And then you were like, fuck it, I'll just do it all?
Well, because it was really expensive. Like, I was well, you know, $500, $600 to pay for a music video isn't very cheap. You know, how much is it to just, like, how much is a camera? Like, at that point, like, we can ask that question.
Right.
Or at least that's what I did. And, you know, I guess telling stories is hard because I've definitely seen people who don't, like, buying a nice camera isn't going to make you good at making music videos. I've learned that from working with other people with nice cameras who gave me music videos that I thought were mediocre, and they never came out. But I was like, okay, how much is a camera? I can stop waxing $500, $600 a fucking video, and you know, spend this $3,000 on this camera, $4,000 on this camera setup, and like if I shoot, you know, if I make it an effort to shoot, you know, 10 music videos, 15 music videos, it has paid for itself.
Yeah.
And I've only, you know, and then that's kind of how I started doing videos for other people. Is that I was like, oh, well, this is fun, and this is, oh, wait, well, I can charge $500, $600, $700 a video.
Yep.
I can charge some money per video to do this. So well, fuck it, well, this is great. And so, like, my cameras pretty much, they paid off themselves pretty quickly.
Nice.
Because I made a couple for myself, made a couple for somebody else, and I was like, oh, well, look at that. There's that $3,500 back.
There you go, bro. That's the way to do it.
Are you heading back to LA after Denver?
Right? No, I'm going right now. I'm in
He's
Miami.
on a world tour, bro.
You know, I'm trying. But I'm in LA. No, I'm in Miami. I'm going. It happens a lot. I'm going to Denver. I'm going to New York for a couple weeks. While I'm in New York, I might I don't know. COVID has me fucked up in my whole like situation. So Florida's been pretty nice because people don't give a fuck. But I've also been able to, keep, my 6 distance since I've come up. So since
I'm glad you have been, and I'm glad you make that point because I'm sure there's gonna be someone who's like, this fucking guy is going all over the country in the middle of a pandemic. What is going on? But you're being safe. You're taking care of yourself and others.
I've had 7 COVID tests. I've had 7 of these swabs up my goddamn nose. Most people who talk about this have never done this, and most of them aren't that bad, except for 1 or 2, which were pretty fucking awful. But so I'm trying to be reasonable, and
Facts.
I keep my distance. I don't really like people anyway, so I just kind of do my thing and say. It's not too hard for me to keep 6 feet from people.
Right.
10 feet from people, and do my thing.
I feel you.
The weather is fabulous.
We're gonna wrap stuff up here in a minute. Play some tracks that each one of us like. Me and Sheridan picked one of our favorite tracks off the project. We're gonna tell you why we like it and play them. But before we get into that, I got a bunch. This is firing round, Kory. You don't have time to decide. I'm gonna ask you quick questions. It's very simple. I didn't go think too deep about it.
I'm ready. Do it.
Very simple.
Right now.
All right. So rap or R&B?
R&B.
J. Cole or Kendrick?
J. Cole.
Rihanna or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
L.A. or New York?
Los Angeles.
L.A. or Miami?
Los Angeles.
All right, you got it. That's it. That's all I got. Very simple.
I got you. No problem.
Very easy. No games, no questions. That's how you do it.
games. You almost made Sheridan's head blow up when you said J. Cole.
I knew both of those answers would be.
Sheridan was like, "Why are you wasting your time asking it?"
No, those are great. You have my answers. They're on record. They will not change. Kendrick's cool. J. Cole's fine, and Beyonce, stop it. I'm not comparing. She does not get compared. So we're doing good. Yeah. Fire.
All right, we're gonna play some tracks off your project, Kory. We're gonna start Sheridan with your track. What track are we playing, Sheridan? Why you like it?
Movie. It's just I love the vibe on it. I think it's a perfect it's a little jumpy, but it's still pretty chill. And the melodies are great. It's in my head probably the most of any of the other tracks, and I just think it stays consistent on topic like most of the tracks on the project do. But I relate to this one, so.
Cool. Let's get it. Movie.
Let's get it.
It's 11:47, I'm drunk, sipping red wine. A hell of a time, it's just a day in the life. Day was pretty benign, but it was alright. I'm thinking I need to write the album, it need more bite. It's 11:48, thinking about the new tape. Finna fuck 'em up, I'm finally on my first rate. Mr. Alexander, nigga, you need to notate. Mr. Grand Slam, Dunkin', mocha latte. Life is the funniest fucker, living my life like no other. I need another, think I'm opening the shutters. Give you my light and my thunder, I do not mutter. Stand tall, don't shudder, speak big, don't stutter. Too real, no cover, came up from the motherfucking gutter. Like my life is a movie so fast to make you lose day. Always on, ain't never no off today. Gang is calm, we rolling the unruly. Call me Avon, it really is a beauty. Hey, my life is a movie so fast to make you lose day. Always on, ain't never no off today. We the big dogs, you looking a little puny. Keep a new tune, stay driving you bitches loony. Cabernet, won't you tell me what you think? I'm here on the brink, I'm feeling a couple things. I think I need me a drink. Standing here at the gate, trying to get my wings. I'm trying to be a great, clear mind, but too many shades of gray. Fuck up, black and white, I'm constantly coloring. Such a beautiful sight, beauty can't overstate. Won't should cut the headlights. Show me this ain't a game. Hell, I got the gas, that fuel. I bring the heat, no cool. Don't underestimate, I would not take me for no fool. I'm just brutally rude. Rock whatever I do. Little raunchy, but I always been that dude. Life is the funniest fucker. Living my life like no other. I need another. Think I'm opening the shutter. Giving my life my mother. I didn't stutter. Stand tall, don't mutter. Speak big, don't shudder. Too real, no cover. Came up from the motherfucking gutter. Like my life is a movie so fast and make you Jose. Always on, ain't never no off today. Gang is gone, we rolling the umbrella. Call me Avon, it really is a beauty. Hey, my life is a movie so fast and make you Jose. Always on, ain't never no off today. We the big dogs, you looking a little puny. Keep a new tune, stay driving you bitches loony. Hey, you're so fast. I'm spending so fast, so fast. Spending so
Go ahead.
I have a question. What's gonna be the next single? If you all had to choose, what's the next single on the project?
For a video, like, what are you gonna start pumping, or what do you mean?
The next song that's gonna be released and pumped. Yep.
That's a good question. I don't know. It depends on how you're trying to necessarily market yourself, or what demographic.
That's a really good point.
I have two answers.
Tell me.
Whirlwind or Funny?
Funny was my answer. Funny was the song that I was gonna play, but since Sheridan chose movie and Funny is right above movie in terms of order, I picked a different track.
Okay, interesting. I was thinking that the next single, because the first two were I Can See and Jealousy and Conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that the next one needs to be relatively more upbeat. Because
Commando?
I was thinking maybe like Commando or Dunder.
I like Commando more than Dunder.
I would agree. I think I like Commando a little bit more than Dunder, but they're both dope tracks. Commando is actually the track that I have lined up to play today. I think the upbeat, rappy sing. I think the first time that we played you on this show, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude's got one of those like church voices, those strong, prominent voices. But I can hear, based off the writing and the lyrical content in the song, that he's a great writer. So I always wanted to hear some more rap singing combinations from you. And Dunder Mifflin and Commando were like the two best examples on this, I would say, in terms of the style that I was thinking about.
Certainly.
Commando and Dunder could both put you in a different demographic, just marketing wise, if you push it to the right people. And if you're trying to change the vibe, one of those might be the call.
That's a fact. Let's play Commando. Let's play Commando. Let the comments see. We'll have some comments rolling. We'll let them see if they think that Commando should be the next one to roll out.
Thanks.
15L70, Roger. All units, 15L70 is following a Car 37 vehicle. 227 Thomas report has 5 suspects inside, known to be armed from a 211 in North Hollywood Division. Air 6 Secret Air 12 is broadcasting.
In the front row, but we came up from the back. Everybody know that we don't know how to act. When we in your city, keep it litty, it's a fact. Fucking with me, it's a fact. Fucking with me, it's a fact. Yo, go ham, we get too insane. I swear none of you motherfuckers will fuck with me. It's my Jordan year, nigga, 23. Run that town, 19, you say. Ball, when he come around, come to hoe. Why? Cause I fucking said so. I got a M.O. Fire any quick switch flows. I said you was on my level, impossible. Yeah, platinum pound, way too drink type strong, and they playing my song, it's bumping. Whole crowd jumping. You know that I do it like nothing. Alexander be fucking the whole thing up, man. Never dead. Up this mountain, fuck with me now. We some rock stars, you some basic bitches who out in the audience. Yo, you peep the flow and you go, whoa. This nigga put on a damn show. He done came up out the shadow. Guess what I heard? He an asshole. Rolling my weed and tobacco. Balls out, command. commando. Round after round with the ammo. Fucking fire facts, yo. It's funny the way they all about him, but it's cool cause they gon' come mountain. I'm taking this little agreement. Come through smoke, fuck, then don't dip. Love a bad bitch with a great fat ass. Concealed carry cause I like a bit of class. Weaponry on deck, battleship. I got a potty mouth, but I don't take shit like yo, complicated. Talk big game and the place be crazy. Ain't no question if I make it. No stress and I'm just demonstrating. Type of nigga quick to get agitated. Bitch, I wouldn't underestimate me. My flow can't be confiscated. Only level up, I got obligations. Trip to the bank cause I'm stacking this paper. I got lots of listeners, even more haters. They mad cause a nigga say he gonna make it. Now it's created, they feeling jaded. Crazy, not really, they up in they feelings. But could give a fuck on my psychopath silly. I'm a cold bitch, keeping it chilly. Thought you fucking with them hot, wouldn't think it, huh? You peep the flow and you go, oh. This nigga put on a damn show. He done came up out the shot. Guess what I heard he a asshole. Rolling my weed and tobacco. Balls out commando. Round after round with the ammo. Fucking fire facts. Best thing you know, you should stop hating ho. You could bet on me, make it back threefold. Till he blunt black and bold. He can't be controlled. You know when he hit the stage, he leave the crowd on both. Beam with the flow and he don't fit the mold. But you still bumping a nigga RDO. Swerve on the roads and it's 2DO. But your car dead. I don't shit my jumper cables like You peep the flow and you go, oh. This nigga put on a damn show. He done came up out the shadow. Guess what I heard he an asshole. Rolling my weed and tobacco. Balls out commando. Running around with the ammo. Fucking fire facts, yo. Front row, but we came up from the back. Everybody know that we don't know how to act. When we in your city, keep it litty. It's a fact. Fucking with me, it's a fact. Fucking with me, it's a fact.
That's one that I'll tell you. I'm excited to see the visuals to that one. I don't know if you've dropped all the videos or how you're releasing the 10 videos.
No, he ain't dropped all of them.
No,
I haven't dropped them all.
You've dropped 2, right?
That is correct, sir.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. That's one that I'm excited to see how you put that together. Unless it's one of the 2 tracks on the album that you did not put visuals to, then I'll be waiting a little longer.
And in that case, he's about to shoot him in Miami.
Facts.
We'll see what happens, you know.
No, I fuck with that track. And that's a testament to your ability. And I have a question in listening to these tracks. It's something I think I've thought a couple different times. What do you consider what you do? Do you consider yourself as a rapper? Do you consider yourself as just a singer or an R&B artist? Like how would you define yourself?
I consider myself that's a good question. I've always considered myself as more of an R&B artist, I guess. And then every once in a while I get into this like rappy thing. Oh wait, is this pointing at the back of my thing?
You flipped your camera, bro. I don't know if you was trying to take us on a tour or what.
Maybe I can. I don't know how. Hold on. Fuck. Okay. I think with this new album, I listed it as a pop project actually.
Okay.
Because I thought that was more appropriate for like the grand scheme of the project.
Pop is just popular music, so I can see why you would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, it's like it's fun. It's fun. It kind of hits a lot of. I felt like it hit a lot of demos, and I don't know. So this project I've listed as a pop project. I would consider myself to be more of a. Everyone keeps calling me a rapper. I think I'm more of a singer.
You're an artist.
I'm an artist.
And you're one of the people who actually fit that definition, not just someone trying to get that out. Because some people...
Yo, if you a rapping ass nigga talking about, I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist. I might smack flames out of you when I see you. I'm going to smack flames out of you when I see you. And then we got to have a rap battle and an artist battle.
And a battle.
I'm tired of y'all
Show me your art.
Spitting straight 16s, can't hit a fucking note. Talk about
I can't wait to get into a rap battle. Keep it a buck though, because I'm gonna burn somebody the fuck up.
Yo, Sheridan said that he would battle you.
Facts,
Sheridan
I'm ready
said
for that.
Sheridan, you're gonna battle me?
Yeah,
I'll only battle Anthony.
No. That is not what he said.
No.
That is not what he said. He said I would be. No, Sheridan. Keep it a buck.
You're not good, but I will.
Come on.
Take no part.
I only want to battle.
Sheridan said
the only one who can get it.
Sheridan said shit, 3 2-minute.
Yeah, you don't even know what you're saying. You don't even know. Now you're trying to make shit up on the fly. It ain't even working.
He said
It ain't
3
even working.
rounds, and he wants to do a 20 for 20 hit battle. He said he's smoking boots out here.
Oh shit!
He's
Let's get it
smoking-
lined up.
The hit battle.
You can talk about a hip battle, but I
I
ain't
got a
doing
record
no
or two. I know some. I got a few. I got a few.
Sheridan, you 1-0 in rap battles, and now you retired.
Yeah, what? You're undefeated against Kory. You scared?
Yeah,
You scared against this one?
You 1-0 again.
I'm not.
Poor Kory
I'm not trying to
Alexander.
rap
I'm
about
telling you, I'm not taking it. Once Anthony rap battles me, I'll open it up to other people. But I'm beating
Nobody's
Anthony
ever
first.
challenged me to a rap battle.
Episode
Everyone-
50 of the Cypher. Sheridan versus
Let
Anthony
me know.
Cannon. Rap battle.
Oh man, that's fun. I'll watch.
Oh
Alright,
man.
I'm gonna play my
Oh,
track
God.
off of the project that
Anthony
I
don't
fucked with.
fuck that.
Locked is one I've heard you do on the Upstate Aesthetic live concert performance. It's a track that I heard a long time ago. Couldn't wait to come out. So once it
Yeah.
came out, it was a no brainer for me to pick this one. So I'm ready to
Okay,
play it.
sure.
Let's get it.
Sure.
I haven't cut a record in a minute. Thinking I've been too up in my feelings, but you better be believing. You come out, come swinging. A few rounds, few reasons. Ain't going nowhere, no pal, nah. Trying to be a new age move rock star. Climbing up the ladder, yep, I'm running to the top. Wasn't a discussion, got the game on lock. Yo, the music game is crazy, it ain't for everyone, baby. Everybody trying to make it cutthroat. Machete, I can't explain all the headache of a creative and critic art, sci-fi fiction. I'm a chronicle of Riddick. Yo, Diesel, keeping it regal. We are not equals. I don't think you make it to the sequel. People, let me explain myself. Yo, this music shit tied to my mental health. Keep it cooking, Rachel Ray. New track every day, new shit on replay. On my way to the bank, give a fuck about what they say. Say I ain't doing May. 315 May to 518. Hey, like I said, it ain't up for discussion. Do not fuck around, you'll deal with the repercussion. Spit the bang 16, a fire delivery. Charge a pretty penny, cause I fucked up the thing. Yo, I haven't cut a record in a minute. Thinking I've been too up in my feelings. Better be believing. You come out, come swinging. A few rounds, few reasons. Ain't going nowhere, no pal, nah. Trying to be a new age move rock star. Climbing up the ladder, yep, I'm running to the top. Wasn't a discussion, got the game on lock. Interesting dilemma, let me tell you, people do get jealous. Seen them when they met a couple fellas, and they wish you well. And everybody's sensitive, a couple folks are talented. Unless you've been in the room, I promise you don't know the half of it. And everybody wanna be the boss, don't wanna pay the cost. The type of shit that really piss me off. That's the type of shit that fucking piss me off. Shit that let me know that you never had the sauce, motherfucker. I could give a damn, I put it all on the track. Half the industry is greedy, other half of them quacks. I ain't giving shit to needy rappers, ain't holding back. Kory Alexander, I put myself on the map. And I hope you know I don't do it for money or fame. The consequences of going and living a dream. A couple others, I promise that I'll be okay. But I also promise your mama is gonna know my name. I haven't cut a record in a minute. Thinking I've been too up in my feelings. Better be believing. Come out, come swinging. A few rhymes, few reasons. Ain't going nowhere, no pal, nah. Trying to be a new age move rock star. Climbing up the ladder, yep, I'm running to the top. Wasn't a discussion, got the game on lock.
That's a fun one. I like that record.
No,
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that
I mean,
record.
overall, that might be my favorite one off the project, or like the one I could listen to the most off of this project. It's an infection spot. That shit is crazy.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, I'm here for it.
I know like the lyrics to that song. I could sing along to that song. Like that, I fuck with that song, bro. That is easily probably my favorite Kory Alexander song to this point. But it's one that I could vibe with. And like I said, from when I first heard it till now, I've been waiting to have it where I can listen to it all the time. So it's
Do you all know B-Chaps? B-Chaps did that beat. B-Chaps, Brian?
I am not
Yeah,
familiar,
yeah.
but no.
I was gonna say, what the fuck is a beach out?
Okay, I've always kind of wondered. I'm gonna shout out to Brian. I've always wondered why you guys haven't looked him up. But he's dope, and he's from Albany, and he's
No,
fire
facts.
as fuck.
No, I appreciate that. It's tough for us to. Is he just a producer or what?
He produces, he makes music. Nah, he's pretty dope. Like I'm pretty sure, like he did an impressive year, like Jake Strain, similar type of numbers, and it's cool to see. as well.
Hey, put us on. Send me a link after this, Kory, so that way we can.
I don't think
I'll definitely
I've never heard somebody like casually drop Jake Strain's name on this podcast. I had to like be like, wait, was that Jake
Oh,
Strain?
did I say Jake Strain? No, I'm sorry. I meant to say. No, that's me being super high. That's not funny you said that because I know Jake Strain. That's fucking funny. Okay, I'm
You had Jake Daniels?
Oh shit! It's even better than.
That's funny.
Oh, that's amazing. I hope Jake
I'll
is
just pretend like that
tuned in.
didn't happen. I'll just pretend like that didn't happen. And so, but he did like Jake Daniels type numbers.
That's the rap battle we need.
Jake Daniels versus Jake Strain.
Jake Daniels versus Jake Strain. Rap battle.
Okay, well,
I
that
think we
doesn't
need
sound
the
like a fun.
hit battle. I think we just need the hit battle for that one. I'm not gonna hold you.
Well, that ain't even fair.
That's
But rapping is.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not funny. Okay, so but Brian Dope, D-Chops, he's cool. He
Jake
did the
Strain-
Lock beat. He also did the Endless Possibilities beat.
Okay.
And he's from Upstate. He's fire. Dylan Graham did the other half of these beats, and Beatcoin out in Stone. So this is cool. This is an international project for sure.
That's dope. Thank you for putting us on. I'm not gonna lie, we have to network more too this year. We did a good job last year, but if we stay stagnant, it's gonna get a little boring around here. So we're gonna be reaching out to Albany, Buffalo, all the different areas. So if you're local, you're gonna have to reach out to us. As you can see, we didn't play nothing local this week. We need people to send us tracks. Let us know what you want. You want some stuff reviewed on the podcast? You want us to play something? Let us know. Don't send it to Ant and tell him to review it, and then an hour later yell at him for giving you a review you don't like. We don't need that.
That's funny.
No, he didn't yell at me because I gave him a review he didn't like. He yelled at me because he didn't see how he was entitled. A dude hit me up for an album review yesterday.
Because you're an
I have
asshole.
I'm an asshole with a
you're
guy.
an asshole.
Yeah. All right, so, bro, I have a collab with this dude. Never met him in my life. You feel me? I hooked him up with the free verse, and son hits me up last night, said, I don't want just any podcast reviewing my project. I want you guys to do it, and I need you to show mad love to my lyrical and production skills.
But how was the lyric and production skills?
Ask Sheridan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it wasn't. Oh, okay.
He is. He's got like, I guess there's like a small amount of potential there, maybe like, but like.
Yo, there's so much potential there. I'll be the first nigga to say that. Son, you sound straight like a white Gunner, bro, and he can rap lyrically better than Gunner, but he can actually sound like Gunner.
He's not lyrically better than Gunner. He's ripping off Gunner's lyrics. Literally.
That's insane.
Shit being stirred
Bro,
up on this thing. It's always some tea being spilled and shit being stirred up.
I didn't even tune into the music because his cover art was just too crazy for me. But that shit is crazy.
Funny.
Bro, the cover art was so bad. It was terrible.
No. The cover art was bad. So this dude was in my inbox like, I know Bone Thugs and Harmony, you stupid fuck.
But oh man,
It's crazy.
that's hilarious.
Entertaining.
But
YK Osiris told me I was fire, you cultureless pig. Like,
that's hilarious.
I was crying, son.
To that point though, let us send us some music. We're not just here to roast, obviously.
Yes,
But if you come with the right energy, send it in. Be like, yo, play this on the podcast. Let me know what you think. Don't tell us what to think before we can even hear it, because that's gonna start shit off. You gotta immediately impress. So
And then try to pay us for a review after. Nah, shit, I will flame your ass. If you trash and you send us the album.
But it will always be constructive. At the end of the day, if you honestly, it's gonna help. Even if we tell you it's ass, it's gonna help. And if you take it the right way.
It's gonna help you up your game. Up, you get your shit better. Up
So-
to the aesthetic, you need that stamp of approval.
To that point though, we
I'm
want to
gonna
get more
tell you
people
to quit.
submitting shit. We want more people to submit shit.
Yeah.
Get your music sent to us. We don't want to just have to go look for it, because if we bring music to play, it's obviously going to be all the good stuff. We want to be able to review stuff in a way. So send it in,
Fair enough.
submit it. Make sure you get shit submitted. Make sure you guys submit your album to Upstate Aesthetic Album of the Year. Get your fans comment and tagging your
Is
name. You
mine
have until
submitted? I don't know.
it's
submitted it,
next year,
right?
bro. Next year. You can't get in this year. You didn't drop in 2020. You're good. It's cool. Just hold out, bro. Just hold out.
Crazy.
Next year we'll be back.
Wow.
It was a slow year. Don't worry, bro.
That's crazy. It's
We'll
okay.
be back.
It's okay. I'll pretend otherwise.
Just
That's
clarify.
crazy. Anything
Hey,
is out.
yo, Kory,
That's
Kory,
fine.
go tag your favorite artist's album from last year though. Let us know what your album of the year for last year was. Get some nominations in
Okay.
there.
My
I'll do
album
that. I'll do
don't
that.
count, but I'm supposed to nominate other niggas. Yo,
Let
you
let the
kidding.
Albany, let some of those
Crazy.
Albany
Crazy.
cats know.
One of you niggas is fucking
Disres-
insanity.
That's
Insanity.
hilarious.
Disrespect is buck wild up here at Upstate Aesthetic, just so you know.
Make sure y'all follow Upstate Aesthetic on Facebook. Check out all the stuff we got going on YouTube, the website. We got all kinds of articles. We got an interview with Anthony Cannon coming up that'll drop sometime this week. So,
Oh yeah.
Ant, what do you got going on?
You said Ant?
Yeah.
Today marks 2 weeks until St. Cannon officially drops. I'm excited. I think a week from today, I'm gonna let go of the Cannon's Corner video. I've been holding on to that now for two and a half months. I have a phobia of dropping a video without having a finished one ready to go right after that, though. So,
That's the thing.
of course, I gotta have shit locked and loaded. However, so much shit on the slate for you guys. Gonna have a video next week. You can pre-save St. Cannon from the link in any of my bios, or you could purchase the early access if you'd like to support. The link is also in my bios. Finally, time to get the ball rolling. About to be 23. You know, it's my Jordan year, baby. I'm coming out.
Hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Exactly. Anthony Cannon on all streaming platforms, social medias. Follow me. And thank you, Kory, for coming on the show. You had an amazing project, and it's nice to actually get a chance to chop it up with you, even though we're not in person. This is the most communication we've had back and forth. Very talented artist, somebody we've been covering for 40 weeks. So this was just nice to do. What's going on with you, Sheridan? What you got?
I'm working still, just working on more music, compiling, getting that clip ready.
We got a new one coming out, Sheridan. Tell him.
We got some coming out. We got some.
To the book.
We got something coming out. Me, Kory, and Dora got something coming out in February. Be ready. Other than that, I'm just keeping stuff ready for early spring. We might have a little project coming.
I got the Sheridan leaks on deck. If y'all need them, I got Sheridan leaks.
Just throw them on SoundCloud, bro. Let's get some reposts for old boy.
Bro,
That's funny.
at least $100 a leak, and we can split the profits.
I'm gonna put it up on SoundCloud. Older little
Wait,
child.
what?
I get started that. Thank you.
I'm dead.
I get a third of that. Thank you.
Fuck, don't give me twisted. You know. That's funny. I didn't finish the bottle of champagne sitting here with y'all and a couple joints.
I think I could tell by now.
Right. Yo, Kory, we appreciate having you up.
Tell him.
I love it.
We appreciate having you up here, bro. Appreciate the conversation. It's been a great conversation. It's been a lot of fun
Most definitely.
discussing
Same.
everything. You've given a lot of great input on all of our topics, and then let us know a lot about the project. So we're excited about that. Let people know where they can find you on social media. Let them know where the project's on everything, right? It's on all DSPs, pretty much.
Project is on all DSPs. Everywhere you can stream. It's called Complicated. That's Kory Alexander with a K, K-O-R-Y. My ads are all Kory Alexander. Thank you for listening to the project. Check it in. Tell me what you think about it. If you fuck with it, let me know. If you hate it, I want to hear. And thank you, Upstate, for all of this. You guys are dope. I thought this was dope the whole time. It's cool. I love it all. I love it all.
Appreciate having you, bro. We're gonna play a little bit of Anthony's track that we played to open the show, the intro off of his latest St. Cannon, and then we're gonna get out of
Oh
here.
yeah.
Take it easy.
Bang.
Wake these niggas up. Yeah. Shout out to everybody that doubted. Want me to lose, but I wouldn't allow it. Got to the venue and it's looking crowded. Homie just texted me and said he's the proudest. It's now or never, you can't get it out. Leave me a rap, you get devoured. Fuck what he heard, you know nothing about power. You can't look me in the eyes, you a coward. I wish you saw me when I was my lowest. Ready for action, or was the coldest. I want $1 million, I had to get focused. It took some time, but I put it in motion. I needed help and your line wasn't open. I had to learn for myself, I had omens. You see the passion of all the devotion. I'm international just like the posters. Liquor been treating my liver corrosive. Cracking the back with that, I get the rolling. Roll up another, my nigga, I'm smoking. Back in the day, we would call this shit open. Fucking showers, your heart ever broken. You see her crying in tears that you soaked in. I be her peace, need ibuprofen. Mark of the beast on the kid, yo, I'm chosen. I hit the booth with another one. You not the one, you a runner up. What you gon' do if they running up? My niggas beast, we run amok. We finna ride, buckle up. We finna fight, knuckle up. He tried to act like he dumb, you ain't sunning us. I get the back and then trap.